Welcome back to the Practical Money with Theo, where we turn complex money into simple systems. If you want to take control of your money and feel more confident about your financial future, you are in the right place. Before I go any further, the ideas I present in this episode reflect my views and experiences. They are not personal financial advice. Remember, as always, be a student, not a follower. In our last few episodes, we've talked about remittances. We've seen the good they can do. They can pay school fees. They put food on the table. They cover medical bills. They support families. They create opportunities. There is no doubt that giving can change lives. But today, I'd like us to talk about the hard questions, because sometimes the most generous people face the most difficult decisions. What happens when two good choices compete? What happens when you can't help everyone? What happens when saying yes to one person means saying no to another? There are no easy answers, but there are better questions. Imagine there is a family home. It has been in the family for generations. No one lives there anymore, but it still costs money to maintain. One person looks at the house and sees memories, a childhood, a family history, gratitude. Another person looks at exactly the same house and sees money that could educate children, help the next generation, or provide security for retirement. Who is right? Perhaps both of them. Sometimes the hardest financial decisions are not between right and wrong. They are between two good things. Here is another question. Someone asks you to help them start a business. Should you give them a gift or a loan? There isn't one correct answer. A gift may remove pressure. A loan may create responsibility. The better question is, which approach gives this person the greatest chance of succeeding? Another question, do you help every person who asks? Or do you focus on a few people where your help can have the greatest impact? Some people believe every request should receive something. Others believe limited resources should be used where they can change the most lives. There is room for different philosophies. The important thing is to have one. What about education? If you can help one young person go to university, learn a trade, or develop a skill, you may not only change their life, you may change the lives of the people they will help in the future. Sometimes helping one person creates opportunity for many others. And then there is perhaps the hardest question of all. What do you do when you've helped someone again and again and again? You genuinely wanted to make a difference. You hoped this time things would change, but they didn't. Do you stop helping? Not necessarily. Do you continue exactly as before? Not necessarily. Perhaps the kind of help needs to change. Sometimes money isn't the real need. Perhaps they need training, encouragement, accountability, mentorship, or simply someone who believes in them. Sometimes regular financial support is exactly the right thing to do. For elderly parents, for people living with severe illness or disability, for children who cannot yet support themselves. But where independence is possible, our generosity should encourage it, not unintentionally replace it. Over the years, I've come to believe that generosity isn't just about having a kind heart. It also requires a wise mind. The goal isn't simply to help. The goal is to help in the way that creates the greatest good. So perhaps before yes, we should pause and ask ourselves, what problem am I trying to solve? Is this a temporary need or a long-term need? Am I solving today's problem or helping to create a better tomorrow? Am I supporting their dream or quietly replacing it with my own? Those questions don't make us less generous. They help us become better stewards. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. Don't ask only, can I help? Instead, what kind of help will create the greatest good? I believe that question has the power to change not only the life of the person receiving, but also the life of the person giving. Next time, we'll bring this series to a close. We will step back from individual decisions and ask a much bigger question. How do we build a personal philosophy of giving? Because true generosity doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Until next time, keep fixing your system. Because when you fix your system, you don't just change your finances. You change what your money is capable of doing in the lives of the people you care about. I'm Theo. Thank you for watching. And remember, fix your system, fix your money. God willing, I will see you next week. Goodbye.